Ladies and gentlemen, won't you please join us on our cinematic journey as we watch the spectacular and the craptacular. Welcome to Movies with the Man. And I'm Murray.
I'm Justin.
And this week we are doing I, the Jury, the Armand Assante film from the 80s, which is also a remake of a 50s film, I believe.
By the same name.
It's the first story from the Mike Hammer series of pulp novels or whatever.
That's correct, written by Mickey Spillane. Filmed in 1982. Director was Richard T. Heffron. Director that worked a lot, mostly in TV. Not very many movies that I recognized. He did film the sequel to Westworld called Future World, and that was the biggest movie I could find that he had done. Apparently, Larry Cohen was originally set to be the director, and
he got removed.
Yeah,
because they said they were behind like after the first day or something like that is what it said. I think Larry Cohen is the guy. That's why I'm trying to look him up as fast as I can.
Maniac Cop.
Yes. He was a lot of my 2:00 in the morning viewings on Cinemax growing up as a kid. Like I was blown away when I saw like Maniac Cop, The Stuff.
That's right. He directed The Stuff.
And
that's a bonkers movie.
Movies that I never could remember what they were called, and I was so pumped that we did this movie, and now I know that It's Alive movies, because there's like, I think there's 3 of them where it's like It's Alive 2, and It's Alive The Island or something like that. And I remember seeing commercials on Cinemax for them all the time, and I could never remember what the hell they were called. And then we did this movie. Boom.
Bingo.
Now I'm like, can't wait to watch them and find out they're absolutely horrible.
Let me see. This movie stars Armand Assante as the detective Mike Hammer. It's got some notable character actors in it. Alan King's in this. He plays a gangster. Charles Kalicki. One of my favorite character actors, Jeffrey Lewis, is in this. He plays Joe Butler. He made like a half a dozen movies with Clint Eastwood. He's just one of my top 10 favorite character actors.
Oddly enough, I would say the character he played in this movie is the kind of character he plays in everything.
Absolutely. Yeah. He had a type. And he just bops in for one scene. He's gone. Doesn't die, just don't see him anymore. And you got Paul Sorvino as the detective Pat Chambers.
I had a tough time watching him in this movie and not feeling like any minute now he's going to be like, and he's like, and now I got to turn my back on you.
Gives him a wad of cash. Now I got to turn my back on you. I read that Bruce Willis and Clint Eastwood were wanted to play Mike Hammer. I'm not sure either one of them were especially close.
I saw that. I had this discussion with you the other day, and that I wonder if somebody like Clint Eastwood would have made this movie better. And I mean, not just by him being better. Like, I don't think Armand Assante is bad in this movie. I mean, in terms of Clint Eastwood had a lot of opinions, and Clint Eastwood had a lot of pull. And he may have changed the film itself in general, and that's why I wonder, like,
I'm guessing if he had taken this role, he would have
had a lot of say so.
Yeah, looked over the script and probably remade it how he wanted.
There was a lot of other people who were up for parts in this movie: Peter Boyle, Candy Clark, Angie Dickinson, Margot Kidder, Jane Seymour, and Donald Sutherland were all considered for parts in this movie. They thought this movie was going to be amazing. I liked this movie, but what the hell did they? I mean, I wish I could get my hands on these scripts,
right?
Because I want to know what's in this script that makes everybody go, "This is incredible," and then how you end up with the product we get,
right? Which is, let's be clear, not a good product.
No, I like the movie, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's great.
Yes, I loved it for the unintentional comedy of this movie. I mean,
so. Some things about this movie. First off, I'm sorry, I didn't. There's some things I skipped over. I want to read the IMDb description. It's a doozy. A PI investigates the murder of his one-armed friend. A PI on a case. Clues lead to a sex clinic. Bodies pile up. That does not describe it describes things that happen in the movie, but it does not tell you what this movie is about at all.
Right.
But I'm going to be honest, the guy who wrote this little blip probably had just as much of a struggle trying to know what this movie was about as I did watching it, because holy crap, does it not make any damn sense the first time watch it, because it's hard. Like, why are these people trying to kill each other? Why are they going after each other?
It's an incoherent mess of a movie.
It's ridiculous. I basically understand there's a project going on where they're killing political people, but they're disguising it to look like sexual crimes.
Right.
Where I'm a little confused is that the only people getting killed seem to be women. So I'm like, so only political figures that are women are being killed this way?
Right.
Someone else in the CIA wants the project to end, and they're manipulating Mike Hammer into basically
going after
all the other people group. Because apparently Mike Hammer is this amazing killing machine, as they refer to him.
Unstoppable killing machine.
Yes. and it's hard to, like, and the problem is you don't understand who the guy is who's wanting to end the program. They don't even tell, like, he just shows up and is talking to
Paul Sorvino.
Paul Sorvino is a captain, and he's friends with Mike Hammer. And they're using Paul Sorvino to be the guy who aims Mike Hammer at whatever direction they want him to go. You don't understand why the guy's talking to Paul Sorvino. You don't understand any of this stuff, other than maybe it all goes back to them all being in Vietnam together, because all of them were in Vietnam.
You get the impression that the CIA has something over
Paul Sorvino.
Paul Sorvino.
So
that's forcing him
how
to
this
do
all
this.
starts off is that Mike Hammer's, like, one of his best friends from Vietnam gets killed.
He's a one-armed man,
and he was he was doing an investigation. The one-armed man was the guy who was killed. His name's Jack. Mike Hammer is going to try to figure out who the hell killed Jack because he's pissed.
Right.
But it's all a big setup to get Mike Hammer to kill specific people. Right. Period.
Jack is killed by someone who is off screen. You don't see who it is. You just see him pointing the gun at him. So that's supposedly the big mystery of the movie is who killed Jack.
I thought it was me the first time I watched this movie, that I had no idea what was going on and still didn't understand why people were killing who they were killing at the end of the movie. Then I come to work and see Justin, and Justin's like, yeah, I didn't understand it either. And I'm like, oh my God, it wasn't just me.
Oh, no.
It is ridiculously hard to understand what they're doing and why they're doing what they're doing. I feel like I've pieced it together as good as I can, but there's still, like, I feel like there's still plot holes that are just out there.
It's like I told you, my wife and I watched this movie twice, and on the second watching, we had IMDb and 2 plot synopses pulled up. And between all that, we were able to piece together what this movie is about.
And here's something else I want to say about this movie is that it doesn't feel like a movie. It feels like a TV movie.
My wife's and I said it feels like a 2-part origin story of a TV.
Yeah, like even the opening for this movie, which
like TV credits.
What they thought it was going to be like a homage to James Bond. And it's not. It looks like the opening for a TV show.
It feels like an homage to Matt Houston.
Yeah, it's bad, man.
If you want a better depiction of Mike Hammer, watch the 80s TV show, Mickey Explains Mike Hammer, starring Stacy Keach, because I feel like that, as far as storytelling, is much better than this movie.
So I have some things that bewilder me about this movie.
Yes.
So, okay.
Just a few?
He's a private investigator that they just let walk into police crime scenes. At one point, he actually flashes his PI badge information at a cop.
Like it's as good as a policeman.
Yeah, and the guy's just like, yeah, come on in. Later on, he goes to a movie set. There's security there, and they just wave him on in.
Right.
Like, why are they just letting this guy go wherever he wants? Not only is he allowed to go anywhere and everywhere he wants without any question, he also commits crimes left and right, shoots things out in public, beats the crap out of people.
Oh, yes.
Does all kinds of messed up stuff. And I understand this is a movie, but he's doing this out in broad daylight in front of other people who are screaming and yelling. And not one time do the police ever get called or try to interfere or have anything to do with this.
Yeah, the one thing is when he kills the serial killer.
Dude, he fights that dude. They fall out of a window and shoot at each other outside in the middle of New York City.
But when it's all over and he kills him, Paul Sorvino shows up and he's like, hey, you did us a favor. This guy was a serial killer. He killed 7 people. It's like,
no big deal.
Yeah. You're still going to get in trouble for shooting somebody.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
They let him go into the crime scene and not just stand around. He's moving evidence all over the place.
Yeah, he's grabbing stuff and picking it up, and they just don't care. And I'm like, this makes no sense. Not only does this make no sense from a reality standpoint, but from what I'm conditioned to understand about movies.
Right.
Police hate PIs. Every movie I've ever seen,
Yes.
the private investigator is hated by the cops. What is going on here? You are breaking the rules.
There's usually the one friend on the police force that is,
which is what I think that's the only logic I could come up with is he was friends with a captain.
Right.
So that's why he was able to get away with everything. However, I'd like to point out that New York is massive, and that captain was not captain over everywhere.
yeah, it's captain of a police district.
So right after he discovers his friend Jack is killed, he goes to Jack's house to talk to his wife. This leads into something that like cracks me up about this character also, and that is that Jack, apparently him and his wife haven't been talking to each other or having sex or anything for a long time. And mind you, this guy's been dead for like 10 minutes, and his wife is already trying to bang Mike Hammer.
Oh, yeah.
Which every woman in this movie tries to bang Mike Hammer.
Yes.
Like, and he just tells them no, left and right. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I like he walks in a room and women are like, "Hello, how are you? I just want to have sex with you right now."
Women are literally throwing themselves at Mike Hammer.
It's a little ridiculous. It's not even that he's charming or anything like that.
No, because he's totally not charming.
No, not at all. He's not funny. There's nothing. He just comes in the room and they're like, "Ooh, hello."
He's got this amazing blonde bombshell of a secretary.
Oh my God, his secretary is so hot. She's in love with him, wants to marry him, and he's out doing all this other stuff. I'd have been married and happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
In this movie, there's a doctor that does sex therapy that's involved in the plot because she was the one who was manipulating Jack, which I still don't understand what she was doing and how the CIA got involved with her. And
my
Jack.
wife and I think we figured this out.
Okay.
This doctor and her psychosexual clinic, they would find people who were good candidates.
They're the ones who created this serial killer guy.
Right.
Okay.
So they would find candidates that would make good patsies and good assassins.
And Jack figured that out.
Right.
And that's why Jack ended up getting killed. Okay. That's not explained.
No,
like you have to figure that out yourself. That's not explained in this movie at all. And
let's be clear, I'm making an educated guess.
It makes sense though.
Yeah.
So this doctor, I want to talk to you about a scene where Mike Hammer goes to visit this doctor in what I think is one of the most ridiculous parts of this movie. There's these twins that Mike Hammer goes and interviews, and
the twins own the estate where the clinic is on.
Why'd they kill the twins though?
They knew too much.
Okay. So
what they know, I don't know.
Yeah,
but they knew too much.
So they're gonna kill. They send the serial killer crazy guy up to kill the twins, while Mike Hammer is getting a demonstration of the therapy.
Yes, it's an orgy.
So yes, it's a room where everyone walks in and just starts having sex, and so you gotta understand what you're seeing is a montage of a guy dressing women up in terrible makeup, a wig, and then slashing their body with a knife, like cutting them as he asks them to say, "I love you." And then it's cutting between that and people having orgasms. And then you hear a girl scream, and Mike Hammer goes, "What was that?" And the doctor says, "Haven't you ever heard an orgasm?" And he's like, "An orgasm? It was get the shit out of here," or whatever, something along those lines. And then runs upstairs. And as he runs out of the room, I don't understand why the water was on. There's water on, and it's flooding the entire downstairs, which, by the way, between the scream, that guy leaving after killing those two girls, and Mike Hammer walking out the door, there is no way that he could have flooded that room with so much water that the entire downstairs is flooding already.
But the practical reason why the water is...
No, none.
Well...
No, what? So he could follow his footprints?
So he could follow his footprints.
Yeah, because he had bloody footprints that the water caused, and he was able to follow the bad guy's footprints. I mean, it made no sense at all. And
I think that when this movie was picked up by 20th Century Fox, it was originally going to get an X rating for the orgy scene and for the throat slashing scene later on, which I want to talk about.
Oh my God! Yes,
but apparently. Those were cut by 20th Century Fox, so this movie could get an R rating.
So
and when we watched the uncensored version.
So going back to this doctor, when he first meets this doctor, I want to point something out about this scene that I am a product of. I got to grow up with the internet in my house, and I mean as in I had like AOL 1.0 internet when most people didn't even know AOL existed yet. So this is what, early 90s, late 80s?
No, early 90s.
Whatever it was. I knew we had internet before everybody else did. And this internet isn't today's internet. There's nothing on it.
It was dial-up, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I'm saying in terms of finding any information,
yes.
Good luck finding anything truthful.
The internet was a barren desert at that point. It was a few oases.
Maybe question, when he's talking to the doctor, he rips a camera out from underneath, or a recording device of some sort, out from underneath her desk, and he's like, what's this, blah, 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 and talking to her about it, and he says, oh, you should get the new Sonys, they're better, or whatever, and then drops it down, and then he talks later about how it's government issued, and that's where that camera came from, so it's not something, like, so you clearly he's alluding that she's working with somebody. But I'm sitting there thinking, okay, it's 1980-something in this movie. There's no internet to just go look up tons of information. Where does he get his knowledge of spy cameras?
My guess would be he's a PI, so PIs have a not working knowledge of surveillance.
But he's got a working knowledge of government-issued spy cameras.
Well, he was in the Army.
Oh, that's baloney. That's what my problem was. I was like, he doesn't have access to all this information.
Right.
This dude would have to be reading like everything under the sun every day nonstop to keep up on that kind of stuff, or have somebody giving him intel always. And I get that could be the thing. And again, I know it's a movie, but it just bugged me for some reason. That's all I had with that, which he ends up banging the doctor later because it's clear that she's into him the second he shows up. Doesn't say anything. He's kind of a douche.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of a douche to her. And she's just like, oh my God, I want to be with you, even though you're a dick.
Oh, hi.
Which, by the way, there's another scene. One of the things that I found amusing, too, about Mike Hammer, like, you got to understand how good this guy is. He just randomly looks out his window at one point in the movie and looks across the street in New York, where there's thousands of people walking the street at all times, and sees the one guy staring at his window, his business office, and he knows that guy happens to be watching him. Like, he's aware. And during these scenes, what I'm laughing at is how ridiculous New York was. I don't know if it's still this way, but the whole topless signs all over the place. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe this is just all out in the open.
I don't think it's, man, I've never been to New York, so I don't know. But from what I understand, in the 90s, that was all cleaned up and cleaned out.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh man, 80s New York, what a cesspool.
Yeah. But on the other hand, it looks great. It looks real.
No, it did. I will say that it did look real. I talked about how Mike Hammer went to a movie set. I want to talk about this movie set. He goes on there to investigate a prop master who sold the gun, because they traced the gun that killed Jack back to this prop master.
Right. Some
problems happened, and he throws a guy onto what looks like controls for like a squib bullet thing.
And he sets every one of them off.
Thousands of squibs and bullets all suddenly just start going off and shooting everywhere. And during all this chaos,
Mike Hammer is having a great time during all this. He's laughing.
But during all this chaos, because they don't want the prop master to give away any of the secrets, the CIA assassinates the prop master by shooting him.
With a knife gun.
With a knife gun, yes. What? I was like, why did he shoot a knife at him? What is that? And it was like, it wasn't even like a knife that would be aerodynamic. It was like this big, giant,
it was like a Rambo survival knife.
Yeah, it was like, it didn't even look like a Rambo knife. It looked like something like Conan made out of wood, you know? It was like so crappy. And I was just like, why wouldn't they just shoot him with a real bullet?
Yes, how is this better? I guess not traceable, I guess.
Maybe it was quieter, I don't know. Yeah, a knife gun. I was like, is that a thing?
You did have a million squibs going off, so one more shot wouldn't have
oh my God,
alerted anyone to anything. And he falls on the Mike Hammer, and Hammer's like, call an ambulance, get a doctor, and then like 5 seconds walks off and leaves the guy to die.
Another ridiculous scene in this movie is when he goes to visit his friend after they find out that Jax went up to these cabins or whatever. This is where they find out the CIA's after them. They're visiting their friend, and they look out, and they happen to look out the window right as the CIA is coming up the road. Good timing. So then he's like, hey, why don't we just take your vehicle?
Your Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah, your Jeep Wrangler. And he goes, oh, I ain't got any gas. And he's like,
why didn't you have gas?
Yeah, he says he's got a car with no gas.
He's like, I wasn't planning on going anywhere.
Then they start the car by filling it up
with bourbon and mothballs.
Bourbon, mothballs, and lighter fluid is used.
Totally would not work, by the way.
To start the car.
Yeah.
And they're able to get away because of this.
Yes. That's Jeffrey Lewis is the actor that plays the. You see, he plays their buddy Joe.
During that scene, there's a chase scene where they end up getting away, and they end up parking the car in a way that no one could see it because like it's around a curve. And when the bad guys come around the curve, they crash into the parked truck, and then there's a shootout. And I don't know if you noticed, but when they were having the shootout, the car that blew up in the shootout blew up from the trunk.
Did you also notice the one CIA guy who got shot and flew like 30 feet
I noticed that, and I also noticed how right as the car was about to crash, the stuntman was already getting up in the window, to get prepared to fly through the window. It was like, wow, this movie is, man, it's some. They were like, that's good. That's the best cut we got. We don't have money for another car.
It's not going to get any better than that. But yet, that's the stuff about this movie that is awesome.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was like, that's the stuff I loved about the movie.
And so Hammer he goes to this clinic and observes all this. People get killed by the serial killer, and he gets led to a woman that used to work at the clinic but doesn't anymore.
I had her name written down. I don't remember what it's called.
I didn't even bother to write it down. He goes to talk to her. And this is my favorite scene in the whole.
It's at like a Benihana's type place.
Yes, like where
the guy's
Japanese
got
steakhouse.
Yeah, where they got the griddle thing down there, and the guy's like flipping stuff around. Yeah, go ahead and tell it because it's amazing.
And as soon as this lady starts giving information to Hammer, the guy who's chopping up a steak on the griddle just reaches over and slices her neck.
Yeah, like so random. Yes. Like out of the blue, it's like everyone is a CIA operative everywhere they go. It's like, how the hell did they know they were going to be in this restaurant?
But it gets better. After that happens, Hammer grabs the chef/assassin and puts his face down onto the hibachi grill.
Oh, yeah.
And like a ton of steam comes flying out.
Yeah. And the police just let him go.
Yeah.
Like, no way I understand it was self-defense, but even then, the police still got to investigate and do some more stuff and keep him around. Right. But they're like, nope, you can go.
I wrote that whole scene should have been straight out of a Naked Gun movie. It's so ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. Like I kept thinking, like, you know, like it reminded me like in Police Academy where Commandant Lassard left his fish on the grill, and he's like, "Oh, you're cooking my fish."
Oh, what a movie! We get to the. Do we want to get to the conclusion? Mike Hammer has finally been directed to. What is his name? Ramiro. He's the leader of this rogue CIA faction, and he's led to his compound. And like I said, Mike Hammer is a killing machine. He just mows right through.
So here's some things. He kidnaps the mob guy that they had used to.
They were working with him.
They were working with him to give the guns to the people who killed Jack. Blah 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 blah. They get to the place, and here's something that like just. This place, when they get in there, Mike Hammer jumps out of the car.
Right.
They're trying to blow it up and all that stuff as they're going in. And the mob guy drives it in, honking the horn ridiculously. And then the CIA just blows the shit out of the car. And the dude dies. Two of the CIA dudes come running out and are damn near standing just right out in the open. And Mike Hammer just starts capping them, like, because they're just there. But as he's running through this forest that they're hiding in, there's like booby traps, like the one thing, like some Goonies type stuff,
like sharp wooden spikes that come
pop out. Yeah. or what about when he's trying to kill Romero and he's in the greenhouse and there's stand-ups of Romero that keep popping up everywhere, like little cardboard cutout stand-ups of him keep popping up to confuse him. I'm like, this was their idea of how to protect this place,
right? And then he battles with Romero, and Romero's the only guy that even gives Mike Hammer a semblance of a fight.
Yeah.
And he gets the upper hand, and he's grabbed Hammer's backup gun, but somehow Hammer had the foresight to plug the barrel.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. Like, why? Like, the only thing I could think of is that Hammer had the intention the entire time to fake, give him the gun.
Right.
So, yeah, go ahead.
And then Romero fires this pistol with the plug barrel, and it blows up in his face, and he dies. But who would have had the foresight to do that?
I love how right after that, then Mike Hammer walks into this room where all their computer equipment is and just hits a button and starts printing stuff. Like he just hits a key and it starts printing information, which apparently
he's also an expert computer programmer. Apparently.
And it apparently had information about how the doctor was involved with the CIA, because the way the movie ends is he goes back to the doctor and he's got a box that looks like it's flowers, but it's really the prosthetic arm from his friend Jack, because he figures out that the doctor's the one that killed Jack.
Mm-hmm.
And then he makes out with the doctor. She grabs a gun from behind him. He shoots her first.
Right.
And then just leaves.
Well, no, she says, "How could you?" And and Hammer says, "It was easy."
And then he just leaves.
Once again, that's from the book.
Once again, I would like to point out, another crime
has been committed,
and he just gets away with it. And I'm like, the whole time I was watching this movie, I was like, this is the good guy? I mean, like, I get that he's like killing bad guys, but at the same time, it's kind of like, you know?
He has a free pass to murder
to do
whoever he wants.
Shoot guns out in public, just to break into people's houses, which, by the way, we didn't even talk about that. He goes back. They trick him into going back to Jack's house to look for evidence, because they planted evidence in Jack's house to lead him to Romero, the other CIA people that you don't realize are CIA people unless you just assume.
Right.
When they cut back to him breaking into the house, this dude doesn't just kind of look around the house. He destroys the whole house. Like, it's like there's stuff just thrown everywhere in this house. He didn't care.
He's got a lockpick set. He picks the door open, opens it up, and he's like, "Hey, I'm here. It's Mike. I'm here."
Yeah. Trashes the house. Finds the photo hiding behind a photo of him and his friend from Vietnam. And what I laughed about the photo is that they were so obvious with the photo that they X'd out one guy and then circled the other guy. It was like, Jesus Christ.
In case we couldn't figure out who was who.
Yeah. So, what'd you give it?
Well, I will say on the first watch, I probably would have given it about a 1. On the second watch, a 4.
You gave it a 4?
Yeah, I had so much fun watching it the second time.
I don't know, man. I gave it a 3 initially. I'm torn between 3.5 and 4 because I really like it.
And I want to make it clear, if you're looking for a good movie,
yeah, this isn't
look somewhere else. This isn't it.
No. If you want to watch something that's ridiculous and over the top and just nonsense, it's this. Because you don't even have to pay attention, because later on when you're lost,
realize that it doesn't matter. You were going to get lost anyway.
You'd have been like, well, who are these guys? Like, I don't know. They haven't told us.
Doesn't really matter. But yeah, it's amazing how much higher my enjoyment of the movie jumped the second
Yeah,
one.
that's what it did for me. The first time I watched it, I wasn't a fan. Second time, I thought it was glorious. I was like, this is entertaining.
Yep. So I definitely recommend it if you're looking for a good, stupid, fun time.
It is craptacular.
Yeah,
like I put it up there.
Craptacular is a great way.
Like that's the thing we will do when it's worth watching for the crappiness.
We're gonna tell
craptacular. You. Yeah, go watch this movie, folks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
You probably watch it twice, because you're gonna need to watch it twice.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for living. Thanks for listening. I'll catch you on the next one.
Yep. Goodbye.
We hope you enjoyed the show, but it's time for us to